Today we're going to be taking a look at the best suspension enhancement options for your 2016 Ford F-150 four-wheel drive. Over here we have our Firestone airbags. Here we have our SuperSprings suspension kit. And over here we have our Roadmaster's active suspension kit. Now each one of our kits are going to do the same thing. They're meant to help you when you're carrying a heavy load in your truck so the back end doesn't squat as much, and they're going to help increase your traction stability and level out your truck. Each one of our kits is going to take a different approach. Our Firestones, for instance, are going to use an airbag, which there is going to be an air line that's going to supply air to our airbags, and it's going to inflate, giving us more lifting ability, and you can also deflate them in case you don't need that much lift. Now, the other great thing about the Firestones is they are working independently. So if you have an off-center load, more to one side or the other, you can put more air in one bag than the other to make sure your truck sits nice and level. Now, the SuperSprings here, they do come fully assembled, but there's no adjustability here. You set them in and they're going to help your leaf springs and give you that extra support. But when you don't have a load, you're not going to be able to lower the pressure or lower anything to adjust that. And if you have an extra heavy load, they're still going to help, but you don't have any adjustability. Now, the Roadmaster kit here, this does have a little bit of adjustability, not as quite as much as the Firestones do, but they do have adjusting settings to whether you can have more stability and giving it more of a rigid feel, or a little bit softer for a more comfortable ride depending on how heavy a load you have. Now, as far as weight capacity goes, our Firestones are going to have a 4,800 pound weight capacity. Our Roadmaster kit over here is going to be 2,000 pounds, and our SuperSprings is going to have a 1,500 pound weight capacity. Now, I do want to mention that none of our kits here are going to increase our vehicle's towing capacity, so you always want to double check with your vehicle's owner's manual to see what your vehicle can actually handle. Now, the main difference of how they're going to install and how they're going to work on our vehicle is our SuperSprings here and our Roadmaster kit are both going to be installed in conjunction with our leaf springs. So they're going to give us that stability by attaching to our leaf springs and giving us that extra support. The Firestones, on the other hand, these are actually going to replace our factory jout stops along with several brackets, but they're going to mount in between our axle and our frame, and we're going to have support going that way with the bag inflating and deflating, giving us the support in between our axle and frame. Now, our SuperSprings and our Roadmaster kit here, they do have the upsides of the fact that once you're done towing, if you take your load out, you're not going to have to adjust anything to bring the ride back down, since they're not lifting it up. They're simply just helping it support the weight. Now, whereas our Firestones, as soon as we take the load out of the truck, we're going to have to adjust our air pressure to get the ride back to the normal height, as well as the comfortability that we want. So in summary, as far as capacity goes, the Firestone's going to take it here because they are going to have 4,800 pounds of towing capacity. As far as ease of installation goes, the SuperSprings are going to be easiest because they're fully assembled and there's not that much to connect. Now, when it comes to the adjustability, Firestones are going to take it here again as well, because you're able to adjust the amount you need to fine-tune your ride handling and the comfort that you want to find. Now, as far as maintenance goes, I think the SuperSprings and the Roadmaster are going to be in a tie here, because once you have them in, there's no maintenance involved, and once everything's set, you're good to go. And that'll finish up the look at the best suspension enhancement options for your Ford F-150 four-wheel drive. Click the link below to shop, learn more, or visit us at etrailer.com.